welcome back. I think in my first video I talked about doing, I was going to go for 14 miles, but I injured myself. I did make it. There's some things that you don't want to forget when you're going out for a long run. Earphones, water, I got a towel, I got my shoes. Don't want to forget about the shoes. I got 2 sets / 3 sets of headphones. And then I got my extra water and electrolytes. Oh yeah, and my running belt. Don't forget the running belt. Also, when I go out for a long run, I like to listen to some good podcasts. And it is hard sometimes when you don't know what a good podcast is. I wanted just to show a couple. I think everyone knows who Joe Rogan is. And he's usually pretty good. You can scroll through, kind of see if you're interested in, let's say, like weather and stuff like that, or animals, or he does a lot of MMA fighters. I really like to do the Jordan Peterson. I also like to do the David Goggins, Cameron Hanes. Those are the guys I really like to listen to, because I'm really into running and trying to figure out how those guys have made it from doing basically no running to doing ultra marathons, where I really want to go to. Some of the other ones were the Daily Stoic, which is pretty good, and Andrew Huberman, which is he's a neuroscience, so talks about the brain and stuff like that. It's really good. So diving into kind of that 14-mile run, I kind of wanted to look at my route that I picked, the one that I chose, and the reason why I chose that one is that there's multiple like water fountains. There's one kind of on either end. And there's multiple bathrooms. So there's a bathroom at the beginning, there's a bathroom in the middle, and then there's a bathroom at the end. Also with the drinking fountains too, like if you underestimate how much water you need, you can always stop and drink some water, which is good. Just kind of the basic things. And usually trying to find those is really hard. So at the beginning of this run, there were 2 guys with their shirts out. They were running pretty quick, and it's really easy to kind of like, okay, well, I need to stay with these guys. But you need to realize that you're running your own race. And that happens quite a bit with running. You kind of like want to stay with the pack or stay with certain people. But a lot of the races have different distances, so you need to focus on what you're doing, because if you focus on what the other people are doing, and let's say they're running a shorter distance than you, I got stuck with that when I was doing the marathon. I looked around and everyone was doing the half marathon, and I'm running with all the halves. And I was like, well, I shouldn't be running this fast. So sticking with your own pace. So kind of you see here, they started to pull away from me, and I wanted to make that clear. Hey, look, there's a deer. That deer got so close. The deers around here are a lot more comfortable around humans. It's kind of crazy. And then men with no shirts kind of took off. I didn't see them till the second slap that was taking. But another thing to really point out is I liked running this route because I'm mostly in forest, and you can tell a big difference when you're running around a lot of tree and foliage. It's easier to breathe. You can feel it, like you're breathing cleaner air when you're around trees and stuff like that. So if you're trying to run somewhere, running around a forest is good, around a trail. Also stay away from cars. Cars, stoplights, stop signs, just stay away from them. It slows you down. So if you could find a bike path or a path to go on to start training, if you were training for a 5K, 10K, half marathon, or marathon, that's the way to go. You can really figure out, okay, what kind of pace you want. You can kind of zone out. You don't really need to focus on, getting hit by a car or anything like that. I also wanted to show you kind of the watch, if you guys have seen it, that I use. I used the Garmin Forerunner, and it really tracks your pace really nicely. If you're really focused on running and you want to get a better watch, I used an Apple Watch, and that used to go a little crazy. I'd be running straight, and I was like, why is my time getting higher faster or slower, and then I would look back at it and it would go like all over the place, and then I would start going again. I don't have any problems with that on my Garmin, so really focusing on kind of the equipment you have will really help too. And then here's me on my turnaround to kind of discuss like how I was doing.
Feeling good, not hungry, don't need to pee. Last time I was here I had to pee, so I took more salt in so that my body holds in the water more. So that's a good piece of advice, just to take some kind of electrolytes before you go out and then add that with some water too, so it doesn't dehydrate yourself.
You know, it's weird, like I didn't sweat that much at the beginning of this run, and then afterwards I was a ball of sweat. I mean, I felt like I just jumped in a pool. I say that at the end too. But I was also talking in the last episode that I did not have enough salt. I did not have enough electrolytes. I should have had more. You want to be drinking every half an hour, and you want to be eating basically every half an hour to keep yourself at peak performance. And I did not do that on this one, and it really affected me on probably from the 10 to 14 miles. I did complete it. My watch ran out of batteries, which was annoying, so I had to go a little bit more. So I knew I completed it. I did about 14.5 miles. And then I got 60 miles. I'm doing a race in the dark as my first one to kind of get ready, because I want to do an ultra marathon. I never ran in the dark before, so I want to do 16 miles, which works for my marathon training. And then it also works to kind of get used to my headlamp and stuff like that. All right, I'll see you guys next week. You know you had a good workout when you can wring out your shirt when it's done.